and World Bowls ranking points on the line. Today is also a milestone moment with Auckland hosting its inaugural World Bowls Series event, joining a global circuit of more than 30 events worldwide and firmly placing Auckland on the international bowls circuit. Good afternoon, my name is Dennis Katsanos. You can tell a little bit excited and very delighted to be here for this historic occasion. I'm joined by Bowls Auckland CEO Dean Bartlett. Dean, firstly, congratulations, 228 participants from New Zealand and Australia. And I guess my first question is, how significant is it having a World Bowl Series event right here in Auckland?
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. I think you nailed it with the intro there. We're super stoked to have this tournament, and I'd just like to thank World Bowls New Zealand and JBWere, our title sponsors for the JBWere Auckland Open. 228 people playing across the city is awesome. We had 8 clubs involved hosting, so a huge thank you to them. And I think just from us, bowls is an awesome sport. It's super accessible and anyone can play, and what we want to do is showcase everybody who does play and then the talent that does as well. And we're really stoked to have a very good domestic field and some international marquee players as well join us for the week.
All right, well, let's check out our results. Our quarterfinals were played this morning. We were off air, so checking out those 4 results from this morning. Well, Canterbury rep Rebecca Jelfs and former national men's singles champ New Zealand and Auckland Bowls rep Aiden Takarua were too strong, taking it out 20-12 against Esther Yu and Scott Harrison. Now, former New Zealand under-26 player Ashley Jeffcoat, an Australian representative bowler, including 4 Commonwealth Games medals and a couple of Asia-Pacific golds to add into the mix as well. Barry Lester went down by a solitary point, 11-12 to Trish, Croot and Craig de Faria. Sean Goldsbury and Sky Rains were pipped 13-17 by Kay Bunn and Sean Harrison. And in our last quarterfinal, Adam Hayward and Jesse McCaw took it out by 1 point, 10-9 over Steve Fisher and Janine Young, which means our semi-finals look like this. In our televised match, Rebecca Jelfs and Aiden Takarua are up against Trish, Croot and Craig de Faria. As mentioned, that is our TV match, but we will keep you updated with scores and how the other game is progressing on the other rink, which is Kay Bunn and Sean Harrison up against Adam Hayward and Jess McCaw. And of course, the final will be broadcast from 3 p.m, so a lot of great bowls for you to enjoy over the afternoon. Now, just to give you a little bit of an understanding, it's 14 ends and a time limit of 2 hours 40, depending on which way the match goes. So it's either whoever wins at 14 ends or whoever's ahead at 2 hours 40. Now, Dean, I geeked out a little bit last night. I had a look through your annual report. I've got to say, when I got to the championship page, the perception of bowls being a slightly older demographic, I was quite mistaken there. A lot of young faces taking out a lot of titles, a couple of mullets in there as well, which I went, okay, so you know some of that influence is there. So there is a bit of a misperception with bowls, isn't there?
Yes, exactly, and that's part of what today is about, is showcasing the colour and how modern bowls is as well, and some awesome competitors. We've got some youngsters out there. I think one fact that's really cool to highlight, our current men's Auckland Bowler of the Year is a 17-year-old kid from Selwyn College.
Wow.
So that's the reach we've got from everywhere. In this tournament we had 14 through to 85, so an age range of 14 to 85, and equal part men and women playing the mixed pairs format, which is really cool.
Dean, the other thing I noticed is your numbers are fantastic in terms of growth. You know, 15% growth year on year in, and I think the social bowls was at 68% that it's grown.
Yes, the Twilight area is huge for us. We've got 38 clubs across the region in Auckland, and 26 of those host the Twilight League. So that's your an hour and a half after work, in and out, a drink after, a feed after, and all of that. It's really cool. As well, we've got over 40,000 people visited a bowling club for a bowling activity in the calendar year of 2024. And I think it just proves our kind of value proposition as a sport that not only engages the community, but engages everybody in that community.
Well, Dean, thank you very much. I'll let you go do some official CEO titles. You can wait right there if you want. Oh, okay, he's a very busy man indeed. And it is time to get the bowls underway. So it is my pleasure to introduce to our commentary team for this afternoon, which is Brendan Walton and Paul Nazer.
Yes, thank you, Dennis. It's been great over the last couple of days watching all the action unfold across the clubs of Auckland. We had a typical day in Auckland yesterday where we had all 4 seasons. We had all the elements, rain, wind, sunshine. Thankfully, the hail stayed away. But it has been an exciting couple of days, and we are now down to the final 16. We've got the top 4 in each of their 4 respective flights, and we're here covering the championship division. As Dennis mentioned, I'm joined today by Paul Naser, who those in the rugby circles will know from his time at the Ponsonby Rugby Club. In more recent years, Paul's also taken up bowls as an avid player himself and lends his voice to some commentary as well. Good to have you here today, Paul.
Thanks, Brendan. There was a chance that I might have been otherwise engaged over at the Howick Bowling Club today, but we did manage to avoid that. So I'm here to describe the action we're watching, and it's going to be a very interesting contest. Especially if the breeze is starting to pick up, and that is part of the forecast, that the wind will strengthen. It'll come from top right to bottom left of your screen as you look at the wider picture. And they might have some tricky conditions to deal with, but you've got 4 real quality players here, and seeing how they get on will be worth watching.
Yeah, definitely a great opening bowl there from Rebecca Jelfs. Rebecca, probably not so well known up in Auckland, but definitely down in Canterbury, where she hails from. Representative out of the Belfast Bowling Club, plays in the Canterbury Premier side. Teams up with Aiden Takarua, who is currently, I believe, ranked 10th in the world in the men's singles rankings, having just won silver at the World Bowls final a couple of weeks ago over at Club Barham in Australia. Also claimed gold in the Hong Kong singles probably about a month back now as well. So, yeah, hailing from the Point Chevalier Club in Auckland, now living down in Invercargill, but still very prominent up in the Auckland scene and doing extremely well on the world stage.
Yeah, well, Aiden, after making that breakthrough win at the national singles a couple of years ago down in Christchurch, he's just gone from strength to strength, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And his success internationally has been well deserved. He works exceptionally hard at his game, and if he settles into his rhythm, Craig will have a real job on his hands taking care of him. And Craig is a guy I played against a couple of times, and in the wind he can be devastatingly effective because he just gets it. And I know you've played against him a fair bit too, and you know what he's like.
Yes, hailing from Taranaki myself, I've come up against Craig on many occasions. Craig plays out of the West End Bowling Club in New Plymouth, so the good old Paratutu West End rivalry there. Plenty of games against Craig. I've had the privilege of getting educated a few times by Craig, but thankfully I've also learnt and got a few W's in my column as well. Something you'll see from both of the men here in today's game, they're both very deliberate. Aiden's got his, what would you call it, very rehearsed delivery, very precise in his action. Craig also very cautious and deliberate in his style as well, likes to be very clear on what shot he's playing. Great weight control from both of the guys out of the gate.
Taking those bowls out wide, aren't they? Because that is the downwind hand that we're watching them play at the moment. So at this stage, none of them have quite come back to the centre line, but they're having a wee look out there because you suspect that's going to be the side that gets more use as the game goes on, in both directions.
Yeah, definitely. They'll use the wind to their advantage. The clubhouse side hand, which is the right-hand side of the screen as we look at it now, will probably play a little bit tighter. You'll tend to see most of them play that, I think, more for your conversion shots, those wider bowls, trying to bring the jack across to create scoring opportunities.
Well, here we go. First one down the other hand.
Yeah, this will just be a sighter, I think, from Aiden. Obviously, open hand, opportunity to sort of see what it's going to do early. You see the difference in green.
Narrower.
Yeah. Yeah, just dropped his weight there.
Tell you what, though, the greens at Howick for this tournament have just been outstanding. They've been so good.
Yeah, look, always an exceptional playing surface at the Howick Bowling Club. Paul Hickey, the greenkeeper there, does an amazing job. He's got 3 natural starweed surfaces there that just always run impeccably well.
We drew there on the first day, and it was, I don't know what you'd describe it as, but the underfoot conditions were just magic. And the weather, you know, the breeze sort of gets to you a bit, but there's no way you can sit there and glare at the surface. There's never going to be anything wrong with the playing surface you get at Howick. Here's Aiden. This is twice he's come up quite a long way short on this hand, so maybe it's a bit quicker on one side than the other. And again, that's not unusual at Howick. The clubhouse side can often be trickier to play than the wider side. Here's Craig down that narrower hand just to see what he's got.
Yeah, again, I think that'll be a bit of a sider from Craig.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah, that's come to a reasonable home. For those of you who aren't familiar with the mixed pairs 2-4-2 format, we'll just briefly explain it now at the top. So each player will play 4 bowls across the end. The first player will play their first 2 bowls. The players will then switch over and they will play their middle 4 bowls consecutively before switching over for a second time, as they are now, and playing their last 2 bowls, which will result in alternating the lead and skip duties for each end. So for this first end, both of the ladies will be covering the lead and skip duties, while the men are playing in the middle, and then the next end will be the reverse of that. So probably not the ideal result from Rebecca there. I do believe Craig's bowl's holding the shot, yep, as indicated there.
Trish comes down the narrow hand for the first time. And that one's short of a gallop as well.
Yeah, ripping a grip there, turned into the narrow side. For those of you that follow bowls regularly, you'll also be aware that Trish has changed her bowls recently. She's most often, or most recently rather, played with some GTRs. She's switched over to Henslight. Got herself some of the new tri-coloured Henslight bowls there. Oh, she doesn't want to pump up Trish's last bowl.
Possibly wouldn't have knocked the hen off its nest. Just settling down in the gusty wind. And you can be quite exposed at Howick if you're not familiar with the green. You're not that far from the sea. And you're elevated a little bit, and they can get pretty breezy there. You'll see the trees in the background, they're starting to stir.
Yeah, plenty of room on the backhand here for Trish to draw a second. Just needs to clear that. Oh, this is interesting.
It's coming with a bit of mustard on it, isn't it? They've got plenty at the back.
Wow, that's true.
Oh.
So another little rule that we should probably cover early in the broadcast: if the jack does go out of bounds, which is defined by the 2 blue lines on either side of the screen, it'll be replaced on the 2 metre mark, which is at the back of the rink. So if the positional bowls are such that there is a scoring opportunity at the back, you will see players often opt to tactically kill the end. As I think they would have probably had 3 or 4 shots at the back there. Trish had
6 or 7, I think.
Yeah.
Just about everything back there.
Well, Craig's 3 at the left there, and Trish definitely had 2 at the back as well. So, yeah, really good call there actually from Craig that I had missed.
Yeah, sort of caught me by surprise as well, but so there's a warning shot across the bows for Aiden and Rebecca. They may need to think outside the box at times. Aiden's pretty good at it.
Yeah, Aiden's definitely very tactically strong, and he'll look to attack if there's opportunities for sure.
I don't know Rebecca or her game that well. I've seen her play once, I think.
Yeah,
she
I've seen
doesn't
her
make a whole lot of mental mistakes, does she?
No, I've certainly been able to watch her half a dozen times, and I wouldn't characterise her as aggressive, but certainly within a team or within a duo, she's very consistent, brings out the best in her teammates, which really is a key attribute to have when it comes to the team games.
Especially in a thing like this, because you're not hearing one voice calling the plays during the game. Both players take their turns at directing the head, so each teammate has to trust the other, possibly more so than in a regular pair.
Oh, 100%, and it's really hard to hide in 2-4-2. If you're playing a traditional pairs game, you can the skip can carry the lead or vice versa, but as you say, when those roles switch, it's very difficult to hide.
Because you're almost playing a fours game with 2 players. That's basically what happens.
I'm so pleased you said that.
Because it's the roles are what you play in fours rather than what you play in pairs.
Yeah.
And in pairs, for example, a dominant lead can really take a game over and run it. But in this, you don't get 3 bowls to start, you get 2, and then you swap over, and then you come back and you've got a completely different mindset when you get back to the mat to play your final 2 bowls if you're in the lead skip role. There'll be a whole lot of stuff on the head that wasn't there when you left. The picture could have changed quite significantly. You could be in a hole and 3 or 4 shots down. It's, as you say, it's a game that doesn't give you many places to hide, but it's an awful lot of fun to play. And it's very popular amongst clubs at Saturday roll-ups because you get to do everything. And you'd find an awful lot of Saturday bowlers around Auckland love playing 2-4-2.
Yeah. Look at the consistency of the men there on their first 4 bowls of this end. We've got one of our officials there giving them the scorecard.
Yep, you probably want one of those.
Definitely come in handy. And already, as we discussed, the wider side being the favoured hand. Rank 1 has been pushed in just a little bit from where it normally sits, so they're not as close to the ditch as they would perhaps normally be.
It's not a bad sizer either, is it?
No, not too much wrong with that. I think it is going to be one of those games where the players will be relying a little bit on the wind to help them out. They certainly don't want to be playing narrow bowls. They will be putting them out there with a bit of green. You can hear the wind picking up there in the sound mic from the cameras.
The end they're delivering from is the more exposed of the 2 as well. There's a little bit of protection at the end they're playing towards, so they'll let it go in the stronger breeze, and by the time it gets down the pointy end, the breeze has just slackened off a little bit.
Yep.
Coming the other way, of course, it's different. You let it go in calmer conditions, then you're going to get down the other end. But you can see they've got the weight pretty much right, and they're now just trying to seek the line.
Yeah, definitely. Once they dial in that green, we'll be in for an exciting match here. I think Rebecca's probably got the green correct, just not quite adjusting to the weight, because you'll be in your face a little bit on the mat coming this way. Well, that might have just popped Craig's bowl back in for shot, I think.
Yeah, thinking that. Tell you what, I reckon would be one of the hardest shots to play today is a yard on.
Oh, definitely. The Howick green historically has been a draw drive type of surface anyway. But with the wind adding another layer or dimension to the difficulty, I think we'll see, particularly the boys, they won't muck around too much when it comes to attacking. I think it'll be full speed ahead. Well,
and both of them can be really deadly on the drive, and it doesn't matter if it's windy or not. That's a good note there.
Yeah, this is the danger. You get that little bit of a tighter line, you can trail the jack, and it's going to change the head dramatically. No, Aiden's kicking it old school today with the old physical chalk. I say, a big fan of the shirts Rebecca and Aiden have chosen today. The old Simpsons Pin Pals shirt. Craig and Trish sporting the tournament shirts. It's certainly been a colourful couple of days. We've had some rainbow explosion shirts. And
oh, yeah.
We've had some Hawaiian shirts with grandchildren on them, and you name it. If you put it on a t-shirt, we've probably seen it over the last couple of days. The days of white trousers, pants and underwear have certainly gone.
Yeah, no, there were several there that looked as if they'd been created in an explosion in the resin shop.
Yeah.
They were They were spectacular, some of them.
Yeah, no, bowls has certainly become a very colourful, loud game.
Yeah, when you match shirts like that up with 3 coloured bowls with stripes across the middle that go blink, 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 blink as they're coming down the rink, it's an interesting thing.
Definitely. And if Craig can get this drop
bad
under,
either, if he gets the weight.
so you see the 2 metre mark there on screen where that blue line intersects the yellow. That's the respot mark. So there is potential that Aiden will attempt to drive this jack, which he is.
Yeah, here it comes. He's got it too.
He's got it too. So the jack will be respot on that T junction that I mentioned, and it'll be 2 shots to Rebecca's bowls. And play will continue.
Yep. Hold down. We've got the next 3.
Yeah, Trish, they're saying they've got the next 3, but there's not really an opportunity to play an attacking bowl.
Well, Craig can't play the same shot Aiden did, because if he puts it out of play, it goes straight back where he gets it from.
No, I mean there is a 50-50 there. Craig can try to draw the shot. He's probably got a foot maybe to draw the shot. Otherwise, he can look to run the jack in the ditch with a bit more of a controlled weight.
They do have the back bowl, I believe.
The face suggests he's probably a bit skinny. Yep, there we go. Can you tell I've played one too many games against Craig?
I didn't see that look too often when I ran into him. He was on fire. He had the thing on the string. And he made life damn difficult, I can assure everybody of that. But Aiden really will be looking for a 3rd shot here. He's got a clear look at it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of space too, and it's a lot easier to draw that shot when you're holding.
And he's nailed it.
Yeah, what a bowl there from Aiden Takarua. So 3 shots to Rebecca and Aiden. 14 ends will play, as mentioned at the top, or 2 hours and 40 minute time limit. Slightly different from qualifying. They played 2 hours 30. Extra 10 minutes just to give them a little bit more thinking time in those crucial stages of the finals.
And if we're all tied up after 14 ends, we have 1 extra end.
Saw a few games go to tiebreak yesterday afternoon in the first round of post section.
Yep.
Players were jostling to get through to the final day.
There's a lot of 1-pointers in there.
Oh yes, and the conditions yesterday afternoon for those that were misfortunate enough to draw an outdoor green with 65-kilometre gusting winds certainly had to fight for their position today. Well, the gusts today are only around 30 kilometres, I believe, so it's not so aggressive.
Yeah, well, I was playing at Royal Oak yesterday under the hat, and at the end of the day, that's a good nut there from Trish. That's a very good way to start.
Yeah, great start from Trish.
In the playoff round yesterday afternoon, we were suddenly joined by the eight teams involved from Takarua because the wind out there was just fierce. And so yeah, a couple of them looked fairly windswept by the time they arrived.
Yeah, I was sitting in my tournament director's chair and trying to sort out all the post-section draws and charts and cards and logistics, and I get the call from Railway. The conditions are quite dangerous, and they've got jacks flying across the green from the wind and scoreboards uprooting from the ground. And one of those times when the wind just becomes a little bit too much, and the health and safety call was to move them under cover where they can complete the games.
Yeah, well, I spoke to a couple of the players who had been there, and they said the wind really was strong.
So we see a little bit of a contrast from the previous end there, where the girls have got their green correct, but just a little bit over with the weight. So this is the wind helping them to the jack. So there is a bit of adjustment required. We call it uphill, downhill, even though it's sort of wind into your face and in your tail.
Yeah, well, these bowls are finishing on the downhill run. They don't pull up as quickly as you wish sometimes. And you can see that sort of runs on a little bit. If the wind gets in behind it, it might put, given how good all the four players are in this game, you'd expect them to be all over the jack as a rule of thumb. The pictures are showing four bowls grouped fairly closely to the centre line, but a metre beyond the jack, which you are just seeing how challenging it is, bearing in mind that everybody involved in this game has won a lot of titles at centre and national level. There's no mug players in this one anymore. Here comes Aiden, and he's got the other effect of the wind, possibly, that it knocked his bowl down a bit. He took a little bit of pace off it, and it just got knocked down a bit. Craig's coming in a bit firmer. He's down the back with the rest of them. So not quite there for him yet. It's a pretty good second in the conditions.
Yeah, he's certainly got his green dialed in. Just needs to get on top of that speed.
I think this is quite a useful offering. Certainly looks good to hear.
Yeah, good bowl there from Craig. It's most likely second shot. Craig has a slightly older set of, well, I say slightly older set of bowls, they're hardly old, but an older set of Taylor blue lines is his bowl of choice, which you can't really find these days, but they sort of sit similar to an SRV or like a slightly, yeah, in between an SRV and an SR, I tend to think.
From Aiden too.
Yeah, he's got the weight right there. It just hasn't quite found the centre line. Aiden, I believe, is playing with Taylor GTRs.
Don't think I've ever seen him using a set of bowls that
wasn't
bright
pink. Yeah, I know he once had a set of SRVs, Taylor SRVs, that were also bright pink, and he switched out to a more drawing bowl.
Those were the ones that I don't think he ever polished, because they had the stripe down the running surface that looked like a mountain bike tyre. That's probably promoted Aiden to shot.
Yeah, that will be 1 to Takarua.
But the bowl is a bit of an orphan at the moment, if you can get to it, because the Faria Croot combination has 3 pretty good seconds in there.
Yeah, and it'll be one of those shots that's played with a bit more of a precise weight. Aiden, you can see there, has the back bowl.
Yeah, if Trish Croot is feeling confident enough, she might go seeking the bowl, looking to rest on it, tip it out.
Yeah, under the line there.
Something on that line, but a little firmer.
Yeah.
That's exactly the shot that's being asked for.
That's the one. And this is the shot we talked about that'll prove challenging in these conditions. You see already Trish is playing it with a lot more weight than Craig was suggesting. Oh, result off the front bowl. Ooh-wee. Bit too solid of a contact. She's finished in a really good spot though.
There's really no other way to play that shot, is there? You can't look just to punch the bowl through half a metre or something. You have to give it a bit of mustard. That's not a bad. That removes a lot of the threat to that bowl of Aiden's.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder if there's an opportunity on the forehand underneath Rebecca's front bowl. Yeah, kind of what Craig's suggesting. Or is he still talking about backhand?
Sorry, what weight do you want? Okay.
Aggressive weight.
We haven't got the back though, eh?
So Trish plays her first drive of the match.
Not bad, but
not a fair effort actually.
There. Couple to Aiden.
Yep, 2 to Rebecca and Aiden on the third end. And that's not too much to worry about, I think. You know, these teams are good enough to exchange 2s and 3s. It's when you start getting a little bit of a consecutive run, I think, is when you start to panic.
Well, in the conditions that we had, certainly the first day, but also for a lot of yesterday on the artificial, the quality of players means that you're not going to get big numbers.
No.
And so a three can actually be a bit of a nuisance because it might take you 20 minutes to get it back. Whereas here, in the more difficult conditions, if you can start landing them early, your opponents might be reduced to shortening the count as option A. Because you certainly don't want to be dropping 5s and things like that. You have to get bowls in there, and until you get one in there, that's what you're looking to do. Good start from Aiden on this one.
Yeah, and it's an interesting tactic from Aiden too. So playing into the wind, he's throwing the jack long, which can make it a little bit easier just to get the weight because you can be a bit more confident in giving it a bit of hand at the bottom, putting your wrist into it a little bit and getting some speed behind the bowl. You don't have to worry about dropping short as much. But a really good reply from Craig there. Tracking well again from Takarua.
Yeah, they've got
Certainly got the speed. Oh no, he's not. He's
For a
put it just
long
short.
end, that's starting to pack them in around the jack. Yeah, second good offering here. But accept that from the lead.
Definitely. Can't complain about that. So interesting to see how Rebecca handles her 4 bowls here. I think one of these 4 will need to be an aggressive attempt to try and remove the Faria shot bowl, create an opportunity for Aiden. And you definitely see she's playing with weighted intent.
What have we got back there?
You know, while we praise the green here at Howick, one thing must be said for the ditches here. They're very solid and true. You saw in that camera shot just then, the grass goes right out over the board. So it's beautiful surface. You can really draw to the ditch with a whole lot of confidence that it's not going to fall in. Yeah, that's a really good bowl from Trish there. It covers the other side of the green. That's where the jack's going to spring to if they do make contact with it.
You get the impression that all 3 of them, if they stop now, would count. And this is the hole that you can fall into in a 2-4-2. You can suddenly find yourself defending from fairly early in your 8 bowls.
Yeah.
Here's another one going to the back. That's even closer to the drink.
Look at that.
Aiden might be looking at that too and thinking, well, we'll see what happens.
Got some of the locals with the VIP beanbag seating out there on the green. Not every day you get to chuck a beanbag out on the green and watch the bowls up close.
This is another goodie. There's one of the local speed freaks, winds it up and out the back.
Okay, that's a real good shout.
Yeah, so that's actually better.
Just confident draw.
It's a lot better for Rebecca. She was playing that overweighted shot, so it gives her a bit more confidence now to play that weight with a slightly tighter line. She's got more bowls to work off.
I think this one's going down where the others are.
She's still stuck out on that wide line. Just overplaying the speed, I think. She's looking for a bit of turn, but too much weight for the line she's ideally looking for. And
given where the jack is placed at the moment on the 2 metre mark, Trish and Craig can just pile bowls in around the head because if the jack gets dislodged, it's going straight back to where it is at the moment. So they can just keep chucking them in there.
There's a really nice forehand drive on right now, but there's no benefit to doing it because even if you got those, if you got Craig's shot bowl out and the kitty, Trish has still got the next 2 shots.
Yeah.
So working down off this line as she's trying to do, that looked better out of the hand.
Yeah, we heard the call from Aiden. He likes it more too. This is going to get rid of something, I'm sure.
That's a really good shot from Rebecca.
That's a super bowl.
And that'll be the shot and a toucher. 1 down is the indication from Faria.
Better chances off our bowl.
So the same call.
All right, so here we go. This one's a little bit on the narrow side, not by a whole lot, but it slides past and probably into oblivion. And so that 1 bowl from Rebecca has changed everything in this end, because it's also a bit hard to, well, if you give it a smack, you're almost creating a car accident back there, and you're not. If it fits through that gap between the green bowl and the 2 Trish Croot bowls, there's 2 Rebecca Jelfs bowls sitting right on the ditch, and if it goes in the drink, you're holding 2 instead of 1. That 1 bowl has changed everything. This isn't a bad offering from Aiden either.
Yeah, if he can. Oh, he doesn't want to turn
He
it
doesn't
over
want
though.
to hit the jack out of there though.
Well, he's got away with that, I think.
Having a bit of a close study.
One down. You need to, you're probably going to have to block. Moving first start, she'll give you 3.
Yes, by resting on Craig's first bowl, they need to get somebody down the muffler shop out Howard's way. I can see that. If Craig comes in and hits Aiden, Aiden's locked in there now by Craig's first bowl, so he's just not looking for that disturbance. But I tell you, this has promise.
He's got merit here. Oh, he's done enough.
Well done.
I think again though, to your comment though, Paul, if Aiden can get on to Rebecca's bowl, it should lock in place.
Yes,
so
it will.
He can afford to be a little bit aggressive at this and get a good result. Even if he misses, he's clearing out Craig and Trish's bowls to the left of screen there.
Well, if he hit Rebecca's bowl and went to 7 o'clock as we were looking at it on the screen, he could rest on the 2 opposition bowls that are sitting just behind the jack.
Yeah, I think
it could work really well for him.
Oh, it's a little bit more of a reserved weight than I was perhaps expecting out of Aiden. And he's under the line.
Yeah, no, he's undergunned this.
Well, interesting here because there's an opportunity to score. And that's exactly what I was looking at. If you can get underneath your own bowl there and turn Craig in, you've got a real opportunity to get 4, maybe 5 if your running bowl goes with it.
Potential of 5 shots here.
Yeah.
It's
draw and hope. Bang on, Craig. That's the one.
But he's played an awful lot of bowls. I believe he's won more centre titles in Taranaki than anybody else.
Yeah, he was the first ever player to get to 25 in Taranaki. I'm going to be corrected shortly, I'm sure, but I think he's up to 27 now.
Yeah, I actually thought it might have been 1 or 2 more than that. But anyway, you know more than I do.
I'm fairly confident he hasn't yet hit 30, so somewhere between 26 and 30.
It tells you that he's played the odd draw and hope in his career, and some of them have worked.
Yeah, look, he's got really good speed.
Not.
That's really good speed for that kind of shot, though.
So just the 1 shot. But it just gets Trish to control the mat in the first bowl. So we might see a slightly different length here. Depends what they've been happy with. No, we're back pretty much to the tee. We're back pretty much to the drink, apparently. No, on the tee. Not happy. She turned her back on that one pretty quickly.
Yeah, sent that through to the ditch. So it'll. Oh no, it must have stayed on.
No, I got the impression that I saw Craig swooping on it. There we go. That's good camera work, following the bowl all the way in. You can see there's a few wide open spaces down there.
It's good to see a lot of spectators around today as well. I think most of them are hiding inside the club rooms, staying out of the wind. But
I'm not sure why you do that.
a lot of the younger players are here supporting. Some of them playing earlier today as well.
And while you're talking about hiding inside, it's probably fair to pay tribute to the people at the Howick Bowling Club, which is the host for this tournament, who've done an awesome job. They've had food available, they've had all the things you'd normally expect, but a good range of food from the kitchen, and a lot of volunteers from the club have been there just making it go. And it's always a good place to go and play a big tournament, but they've done absolutely up to their high standards for this one.
Yeah, Howick definitely always turn it on. They're probably the largest club in the country, I think, geographically, in terms of having 5 playing surfaces, 3 natural greens. You can see in the background they've got the covered facility, which is very near completion. That's expected to be completed in the next couple of weeks. And then the surface underneath that will be replaced hopefully early next year, so we'll be playing undercover at Howick by the winter. And then they also have another carpet green directly above this one, or behind the camera as it sits now. So they really are an all year round facility, and they are definitely the home of big events in Auckland, that's for sure.
Well, they're home of big membership too. It must be the biggest membership in Auckland, surely.
You know what? I don't think they are. I think
is that right?
Top 3 or 4 definitely. Royal Oak, I think, still has the most full playing members.
Okay.
And I would say, I don't have the exact stats in front of me, but I know they're probably top 3 or 4. But I think one of the key things at the moment really is social membership. So a club like Point Chev, for example, would have less than 50 full playing members, but they have over 1,000 social members.
Yeah, well, they've done good things out there too.
You know, and part of Bowls Auckland's mission at the moment is to help clubs be the heart of their community. So when we've got a club like Point Chev that truly are the heart of their community, they're nestled down on the peninsula a little bit. There's not a lot of retail down there. All the shops and supermarkets are back up the other end towards the zoo and Western Springs. So, you know, putting a restaurant in the club rooms and having the bar open and amalgamating with the RSA.
I dropped in there for lunch the other day.
Yeah,
it's good value, good
it's
food.
Really good value, really good community hub. Yeah, and they're really nailing it. And I think Howick are starting now to do the same as well, engaging with their local community. They're getting a lot of community bowls, coaching during the week. They do a burger and bowls night at the Howick Club as well, so just really engaging with their community and letting people know that there's a bit more going on than just bowls.
And in Auckland, more and more sports clubs are coming under pressure for community engagement. That when you're negotiating with council for just about anything, you are really expected to provide obvious evidence of community engagement. So the bowling clubs that are doing it are going to promote themselves well.
100%. We've got clubs that host housey, bingo, yoga, Pilates, pool, darts, snooker, bridge, you name it.
Business meetings.
Yeah, corporate spaces.
Bridge Park, one of the clubs I'm at, has an arts group, goes in there one day during the week.
Yeah, it's phenomenal how the community spaces can be utilised, and it's just an interesting little foot in the door for anybody to come along and be part of the club and the environment. And then hopefully, off the back of that, have a go at bowls as well, which is a great little sport to get involved in.
Yeah, so while we've been pumping up the tyres of various bowling clubs around Auckland, the guys have been playing the narrow hand down to a full-length end, and they're sort of undergreened almost all of them.
Yeah.
And underweighted a few as well, so maybe it's getting a bit trickier out there.
Yeah, no one's particularly nailed at this end. That is definitely the harder hand, and downwind a little bit harder to control. You're not going to get that natural finish where the wind is helping push the bowl in, so you do have to find a little bit
of them yet.
harder. You'd like to pick it up with that speed.
Give it a wee nudge. Yeah, there's probably a couple of shots there now.
Yeah, he's probably made a couple out of it. It's interesting watching this kind of end, because you sit here in the commentary booth and you think, surely you just take a little bit more green.
And you put it out there.
And you put it out there in a little hang.
If you ever listen to Joe Edwards talking about how she used to practice, she'd get grumpy on herself if she ever crossed the line with the bowl. The bowl was supposed to stay on the side of the green she'd delivered on. She used to get really quite niggly with it if it crossed the line, and you look at that end and all of them have crossed the line, but we're not playing in ideal conditions. It's pleasantly warm, but nice and sunny, but that wind is a bit like playing cricket at Kilburnie Park when I was a young fellow.
This is an interesting shot from Trish. She's opting
just want to hit this on the
try
outside.
and sit and stay something, but
that's not what she wanted out of that.
Puts herself under a lot of pressure for the final bowl of the end.
Yeah, especially if Rebecca can drop this one in there as well, and she can probably afford to go quite wide.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Even if she was to trail the jack, her bowl is to the left of Aiden's there on screen, so any jack movement really is going to be in their favour.
Little slide, didn't get it.
Just didn't quite get the run off that slide. You really just got to draw this now.
She doesn't have any other shot really, does she?
No.
Given that she's moving across. Well, there you go. That's the widest anybody's put it out there, and it's probably not bad.
Look at this. Look at this.
That's a great night.
What a bowl. Well, I think you don't mess around with that.
Run that down.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. It's worth
Jack
3.
in the ditch, maybe 5.
Oh, there you go. Jack in the ditch is maybe 5, so. On the drive, looked good out of the hand. She's close.
Got it.
Well, she took one of her own out, but still scores 2.
2 shots.
So a further 2 to the Jelfs and Takarua combination. Sees them start to build an early lead.
That's twice that they've played conversions with weighted shots. The first one was for 3 and the second one is for 2. When they were 2 down first time, 1 down second time. So that's a 5-8 shot swing, and we're only in the 5th end. They've already done themselves favours with their ability to nail the weighted shots.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what you're talking about before. It's a draw or drive. There's no point playing anything in between because it's just too hard. So that one had the mustard on it. It got what she was after. And a couple of shots. Yeah, that's not awful either. A mat behind.
Not too much wrong with that start. Wait, that's a flinch.
Yep.
Although, it's a bit heavy perhaps. And I say, didn't look too much wrong with it. You can sit Aiden's bowl, you'll be all right.
Yeah, if my rubbish bowls looked like that, I wouldn't be too unhappy.
No, neither. It's a great little bowl.
Aiden's always had that very deliberate finish. Even when he was a young guy, he always had that very deliberate finish. Not quite holding the pose, but he certainly likes to follow the bowl on its path. And that
It is a real textbook, I think, in terms of a coaching point for follow-through. It's something Aiden does very, very well. If you ever wanted to look at someone to model for a follow-through, Aiden's is just perfect.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's in the textbook. Craig's got some issues with this one. If it's as rough as the last one, I can understand why he'd be grumpy. It's almost as bad, isn't it? It's just sitting there, a couple of bowls high, and what's that, a mat wide of the jack? It's not terrible.
No. A little bit of a conversation going on between the two. They just want to get a point on the board, I think, here at this point, tactically.
Yeah, well, they just picked up a 1, and then Trish had drawn an absolute belter with her final bowl on the last end, only to have it taken out of there. So there's just a little semblance of a gap appearing here, and if this one comes in where it's looking likely to go, that's possible. I think second shot. So the pressure's starting to come on a little bit now, and even though we're nearly halfway through the game, the completion of the next end is halfway, and the Jelfs Takarua combination are just starting to make it a little difficult for Trish and Craig.
Couple of feet, aim that. Line's perfect, get yourself up into this gap.
Yeah, Aiden's starting to have a little look at covering, because there's a wee gap in there on the trail on the forehand side. I think he might like this.
Well, if she can get onto her own bowl, yeah, that's... Well, it's not all bad, but it's not all good either. You've created a target there. Trish has probably got the backest bowl just.
Yeah, the thing for the Jelfs Takarua combination is they're holding 2 shots at the minute. So targeting one bowl doesn't actually kill the problem.
No, that was looking really good from Trish there for a moment, and the weight just died into the wind. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something tactical here.
Nah, you're just throwing it. Like, get back to us trying to beat this one. You get onto that green's fine.
What I meant by that was putting in a back bowl, trying to cover that 2 metre mark, but opting to build the head. I guess they're quite happy with Aiden's bowl on the centre line where it sits.
Yep. There she goes. She's got
Yeah,
another one.
another great
That's
bowl,
a very good
Rebecca.
bowl. You have to start looking at a little more weight. Pick the jack up and take it past the red bowl. The blue one with the pink stripes belongs to Trish Croot. So you push the jack through the wee gap. You've definitely got 1.
Yeah, it is a slightly shorter end, so the mat's up a little bit. The jack's about halfway as well, so you probably could. Yeah, there's more of a chance to play that precise weight that Craig is suggesting, but definitely easier to play more weight than
that's
less.
got a bit more on it, hasn't it?
Yeah. And especially the way the bowl's dropping in like it is now, you see it's really cutting in. So by playing that little bit of extra weight like Trish has, it does just enable her to be a little bit more confident in playing up to the head.
Again, it's that middle weight between the draw and the drive.
Yeah.
Very difficult thing to do on a day like this at a place like Howick.
Yeah, and now we see Aiden calling for that tactical positional bowl. So this is the beauty of the respot, right? So yes, you can play a bad bowl and get lucky, but a good strategical player will identify that and put that positional bowl in. So it changes the game from a full offense to, needing to be a bit more deliberate where you play your offensive shots, where you play your defense, covering the position. Yeah,
you can sort of feel the tensions just starting to build a little bit with...
This is closer.
Yeah, what she hit.
Gets
a
her
little
own.
slide.
Wow, she's made a couple out of that.
Yeah, maybe, well, certainly one, maybe two.
Bit of an ugly way of doing it, but a good result nonetheless.
Well, yeah, it's worth 3 stripes.
She puts the hand up in apology, but I wouldn't be apologising too much about that. You've put it in a good area. A little bit of luck's gone your way for sure, but
You got to be there to get the luck.
exactly. You got to be on the dance floor to be dancing, that's for sure.
So that's what's wrong. It's a dance floor. And I got 3 left feet. That's what's wrong. Thank you for putting me right.
Yeah,
So here
Aiden
comes
not
Aiden
mucking
going
around with
after
it.
it, or just missed, but the intent was fairly obvious.
Yeah, I don't mean to criticise, but I think he rushed himself a little bit then. He had a bit of a rush of blood, too quick just to get on the mat and throw. That deliberate action we talk about was rushed. Sometimes you see that reflected in the outcome of the bowl.
Again, there's no hesitation. He's not at all worried about going to the big weight. This could be quite useful too. This could be very good.
Well, that's actually a really good bowl because that means now that they've got the 2 metre mark covered.
Yeah.
So it might make Aiden think twice about playing weight. He's asking about third shots. We might be looking to aim for the bowl now rather than the jack. Still an interesting shot.
I would have thought that he was probably looking at the bowl last time.
No, I think he was looking jack in the ditch last time.
I mean, it's close.
I think it goes like, if we were 2 down, it would go red, red, pink, eh?
Yeah.
Wait.
So he's driving again.
Yeah. But you reckon he's bringing the line in by about 8 inches.
Yeah. Through the hole. I still think he was aiming for the jack then, to be honest. Because I feel like if he was aiming for the bowls, he would have been closer aligned to Rebecca's red bowl, trying to get a result. The percentage shot is, even if he played off Rebecca's bowl, he could clean the jack out with the wick. So, yeah, it was
and
it's interesting.
Trish says it's only 1.
Okay, so, yeah, I got it.
Well, perhaps that's yeah, that might explain part of the reason. I thought they were holding 2.
Well, I would have thought that was the reason to go after the bowls, and then he was asking about third shots, red, 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 pink.
I've got quite enough tank.
Craig thinks he's undergunned it.
Yeah, definitely starting to cut away now. So they are going to measure that second shot. Definitely one, which is what Trish and Craig needed.
Yeah.
Get themselves back on the board.
Yeah, they didn't want to be dropping another Wrigley number, did they?
No.
Very good.
Just the one.
Okay.
So as the players kick the bowls back to start the next end, we'll take a look at the summary of the match so far. Rebecca Jelfs from the Belfast Club in Christchurch and Aiden Takarua representing the Point Chevalier Club out of Auckland lead 7-4 over Trish Croot of Howick and Craig de Faria from West End, New Plymouth. Cool. So as we start the next end, Trish leading off, and this looks to be a little bit quick.
Coming this direction has actually been quite useful for the Takarua Jelfs combination. They've picked up 2s on the last 2 ends coming this way. So they're just settling into where they need to be. Maybe a little better.
Yeah, and this is a really good opener from Rebecca as well. It's not going to quite run out all the way, but when the opposition's put one in the ditch, it's enough to build the pressure, that's for sure. Yeah, still a little bit heavy from Trish coming downwind. Pushes Rebecca's bowl in a lot closer, and it just tucks in behind the jack, which makes it really hard to get to.
Your best out here.
Changing hand is the call.
Yeah, right up.
Yeah,
You gave it
Oh, she's dropped that one.
Still up here. It's getting wider out there now. Yeah.
Well, it's a lonely one.
I'm glad there's only one. I probably would have played on the other hand. But that doesn't.
Good to be a fly on the wall on that conversation.
Shit, yeah.
Two pretty ineffective lead bowls, to be honest. So a bit of pressure now on Craig. First duty is to recover a little bit, get some bowls in the head.
Yep.
And then hopefully be able to convert a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, well, Trish and Craig had their work cut out in the quarterfinal. They're up against Barry Lester and Ashley Jeffcoat, 12-11, which was, it was right down to the last end where Barry was asking, do I need to take off 1 foot or 2 feet?
Yeah,
It was,
yeah,
it was pretty tight.
There were some very precise instructions. We were listening in.
Oh, he was saying, I need precise.
Yeah.
And tells you how good these top players are if they're asking for precision. Do I take off 1 foot or 2 feet of weight?
Yeah. No, it's been really good having the likes of Barry Lester over here competing in this event as one of our marquee headline acts. And it's sort of, I guess, always a good opportunity for the local players to be able to come up against someone of Barry's calibre.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, it was a real opportunity. I had the privilege of watching the first round, and a couple of local players from the Mount Albert Club were playing against Barry, and they gave him a bit of a hiding, actually. So it was a bit of a rough start to the campaign for Barry, but he recovered well and got himself back to top qualifier, and as you say, it was just unfortunate to go down one shot to Trish and Craig this morning.
Well, I saw them the game after you watched because there was a bye in the section we were in, and there was no way he was going to drop 2 in a row. He was very, very precise. He's obviously a high-quality player, but he was making absolutely sure that they were 1-1 after the second round. Good bowl here from Aiden. That's a very useful one. And
So holding a very solid one shot, but potentially a loose couple. And Craig, he's put some bowls around the head, but he hasn't given himself any real clear direction, I would say, as of yet.
no, I think that one's undergunned. I think that was something that they say on Taranaki Farms, wasn't it?
What's that? Undergunned?
No, I don't think that's quite the expression that he used.
I don't think the expression... Oh, no, actually, no. Craig's very broadcastable, actually.
Yeah, no, he certainly didn't say anything that his grandmother would have been upset about, but he was making his feelings known.
Yeah.
Another good nut here from Aiden.
Oh, he needs to be careful not to spit this out. Oh, that's ugly.
Yeah. Good bowl becomes bad bowl.
Yeah, I mean, what we'll expect to see from Aiden now is him trying to fix this. So he'll play something a little bit aggressive to try and set that bowl off. He's got the next 3 shots, but he's given Craig a real opportunity here to draw something on the big wide hand. Plenty of room as well. You see him check the wind. Yeah, tossed it right out wide.
It's going to be useful.
Yeah, this is a very good bowl, actually. He's played this very well.
Yeah, that is a good nut.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Okay.
So, pressure's on now, I think. Kind of forces Aiden's hand back to the draw shot. Well, he's
halfway house.
Yeah,
that's neither one thing nor the other.
No, he's tried to play 2 shots at once there, I think. He's given it a couple of yards, but not really thought about his green too much.
Yeah.
So
and that's the hole you can fall into.
Yeah, you get stuck between. And again, that's where the green is quite a key factor in this game, because it's not the sort of green where you get away with that. And it puts Rebecca under quite a bit of pressure now, I think. He just, if he had a draw shot that finished on the outside of the head or just behind it, it perhaps would have given Rebecca a couple of more options in terms of what she could play, but now she is really forced into playing a good draw bowl. Equally, she could trail the jack, 3 feet to the right and pick up another 3 or 4, but it needs to be very precise.
And this one's only going to add to the pressure, I suspect.
No.
Probably going to get down to the tee. Maybe.
Probably not. Oh, it won't be counting. I think the pink bowl to 3 o'clock will still be third shot.
It's not counting, but it might just remove any aggressive thoughts. Now, this is that halfway house where it's neither one thing nor the other.
Yeah, good green, too much weight. It's a very difficult shot. You can't take away the fact that is a very hard shot to play.
Absolutely, and it's a shot that these guys can play in their sleep, as a rule.
Just not on the green with these windy conditions.
Okay, well, here we go. Now, this could really start piling the pressure on, because this looks like it may be a counter.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a counter.
And it parks Craig's bowl nicely in behind the jack.
Yeah, it might add a bit of safety to the fact that she could play a little bit straighter now, because she's got something to miss narrow onto. But I think we're still going to see that kind of half and half shot, but with perhaps slightly narrower line. Well, actually, she's taken less weight off, and
this is not awful.
She's very close.
And she's 3 down.
Still 3 down. As we reach the halfway point, it will be 7-all in this final contest, but we will now briefly cross over to Dennis Rinkside, who I believe has Barry Lester with him, World Bowls ambassador and eliminated semi-finalist, but maybe we won't mention that one. Over to you, Dennis.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Yes, I do have Barry Lester with me, 4 times Commonwealth Games medalist, twice gold, Asia Pacific. Now, he doesn't like to mention this, but he has in the Trans-Tasman Games at 7 out of 7 that you played.
Oh, something like that. But I've loved always coming over to New Zealand, playing in many events, usually Trans-Tasmans and multi-nations events. But came over World Champs, played 2016 over here, and probably about a dozen times I've come over here, and the people just make it what it is, and the facilities are great. And this is the first time I played in this event. I'll definitely be coming back.
Now, Barry, you are our World Bowls ambassador. Look, this World Bowls series that Auckland's a part of, over 30 countries involved. I believe the China Open's going on at the same time. How big is this for bowls in terms of making it truly global?
The last 18 months to 2 years, World Bowls has just gone leaps and bounds. They've created the World Bowls series, so now you can be a club level player. You don't need to be a representative of any level, and you can just put your name down, play in some opens. You've got the Australian Open, the American Open, obviously the JBWere Auckland Open. So you can just get out on the road and play in many events, and the fact that World Bowls has made this event, and Bowls Auckland's jumped on board to make it a World Bowls series event, well, you can rack up some ranking points and start putting your hand up for being world number 1.
Now, I noticed you and Ashley a very, very tight quarterfinal, 1 point over there. The greens in New Zealand, how different to greens in Australia? Because obviously, you play over there a lot. I don't know if there is starweed in Aussie or what sort of surfaces there are, but is there a bit of a transition or getting used to phase?
Absolutely. There's probably more variables actually in Australia. When we go from bent to tiff, and then right through the southern parts of Australia, right to the top. I mean, there's massive variables, and now we've got a lot more artificials going in, more synthetics, more carpets, more indoors, and it's great to see some facilities here in Auckland with the more covered domes. So, but the greens are good here. Howick's been great. All the venues have been great, and to win this tournament, you've got to play good and play good in the conditions. And a few people have mentioned wind and stuff, and and you really just got to move on and just embrace it. And as I've said, yeah, we've just come out and had a good time and enjoyed everyone's company, and that's what it's about.
Now, what's next on the circuit for you? What's coming up in terms of domestically in Australia, or whether you're back on the World Bowl Series?
Yeah, for me, it's sort of more club-based stuff. But if I was to sort of keep looking at the World Bowl Series ranking events, you've got the Victorian Open, which is in March down there in Victoria. So people from, once again, Auckland or New Zealand can go over and play in that. Then you've got the Australian Open in June. But for me, it's more so just club-based stuff. We as we start the new year, we get right into our pennants and Premier Leagues and stuff. So I'm at Kawana Thunder on the Sunshine Coast. And yeah, so I've got a little tournament coming up in January, the Newborough Classic Singles, and I try to go back to that every year and support it. So it's sort of where I grew up. But all in all, yeah, still playing plenty of bowls, but just learning more about the game and gaining new experiences, meeting new people, and that's what this event's been great for me.
Barry, I'll let you go and enjoy the bowls. Thanks so much for coming over, and also your World Bowls Ambassadorial role as well, and best of luck for the future.
Yeah, thanks, Dennis. Thanks for having me, and thanks for covering the event today.
I think your line's so good to stay there, mate. You got 3 to come.
Well, thanks, Dennis and Barry, for that, and Barry offering a few thoughts on the developing world bowls scene. He's a guy who graces the game, isn't he?
Oh, look, Barry's a great ambassador for the game, and we've been really fortunate enough to have Barry over a couple of times in Bowls Auckland and help us out with various things. He was over here last year running his coaching sessions, and if you are in Auckland and strapped for an activity tomorrow, he is running one of his coaching sessions at the Semifinalists Bowling Club. I believe there are still some spaces available. If you head over to Barry's Instagram page or website, I believe there'll be some details on how to sign up for that one. As we see a couple of really great bowls from Rebecca there. This has turned into be quite a tight head here. Aiden's opening bowl adding to the count, so 3 early on, and again that little forehand half and half shot, as we've dubbed it today, is looking really interesting for Trish to play on her forehand, or the left of screen as we see it.
Yeah, because it's not a wide target, it's a deep one. And so you can't come in with real weight and hope that when you hit something it's going to hold your bowl up.
Yeah, definitely a little opportunity there off Craig's bowl. Probably less so now that she's kind of blocked that off a little bit. We see Rebecca's bowl coming into frame now. Just getting caught in on that wider line with weight. She's really sent that one.
I think Aiden was wanting something back there just in case they decide to have a ping at it.
Yeah. Yeah, you see it just hanging on to the back of the green there in a pretty good spot, actually. This has got merit.
Sure has. Through the hole and far away, is it?
Just unlike, well, no, she stuck around probably for third shot there, if not second.
Yeah.
It's a really handy bowl there from Trish, to the indication from Aiden.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same shot.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
If you do turn to Trish, still me. Like that's only if you stay, you get another one.
Okay, yeah.
Like I'm now out of the count completely.
Okay.
Team would be nice just to have.
Just thanks to Aiden for doing our job for us for a moment.
Yeah.
It's always good to get some of the player insights and how they read the heads.
Well, Aiden's a chatty bloke too, so he doesn't leave you wondering. He doesn't grunt 3 words and two finger signs, and his partner knows what he's talking about, but the rest of the world is in the dark.
And we haven't seen any indoor bowls shots yet either, so when he starts getting the indoor bowls shots out, then you're in for a treat.
Did that with another familiar voice of the game, Alex Reid. They used to do it all the time.
Yeah, you get those two on the green together and they start, hit it on this angle to get that result and punch this one through. And it's one thing to call it, it's another thing to play it.
Yeah, you got sick of playing against them when they were doing it.
It's a lot easier to do it indoor, that's for sure.
Yeah, it didn't seem to bother these fellas too much.
No.
But anyway, I think after they've just dropped the 3 and basically the scoreline's gone from 7-3 to 7-7 and 2 ends, he'd be quite happy with Rebecca holding 2 pretty tight shots for him. And Craig's got again, he doesn't have a lot of wing room, does he? Because
I like the speed.
yeah, this is pretty
is
good
the speed.
too. And he's going to get
Bang,
a wick
bang.
off it.
Yeah, very well played, Craig. Great result. Right kind of speed in the area. He'll hold 1. Aiden's got an opportunity there. He can. Yeah. Yep. That's the call.
There's quite a few choices there that will benefit his team.
And the beauty of this is if he does miss, he's got the option to go a little bit firmer as well. And even if he does drive and get onto the shot bowl, there's not too much danger, because if he gets the right edge of Craig's bowl, he'll come out and take out Trish's. If he does get onto his own bowl, his one will lock in place, and they've got back position now as well.
So as well.
Yeah, the slightly heavier shot does become a lot more attractive now. And this is where we start to see some of that tactical play and where Craig's deliberate strategy and planning comes into place.
Yep. They're now trying to guard against 4 possibilities with 1 bowl, which is always a very tricky operation to
manage.
Always
a challenge. I guess looking at the left side of screen as we see it here, Trish's bowl is going to cover pretty much anything if the jack goes left.
Yep.
The 2 metre mark obviously is a danger point.
Yep.
So it's just any result out to the right that probably just needs to be covered.
Which is pretty much where he's gone.
Yeah, if he can split those 3 bowls on the right-hand side of Aiden and Rebecca's, well, he's going to draw a shot here.
You hear good effort, that normally means that it's
not counting.
Involved.
Yeah, so you see Aiden there with his hand gestures just splitting the head. So I'm assuming this one's going to be a little bit more quick.
I would imagine so. Yes, I don't think I've ever got a point for a good effort bowl yet. I've sent down an awful lot of them, but I don't think any one of them's ever been worth anything.
No.
And you notice that Aiden does not carry a cloth with him on the green. His bowls never get polished.
Yeah, definitely going for the weighted shot. You see that slight, subtle difference in his pre-shot routine.
Yeah, there's a bit of mustard on this one.
He's under the line, but he could get a result off the other one. Oh, no.
Not quite.
So 1-2 to Faria. And the first lead change of the game, if I'm not mistaken, Paul?
No, second, because Trish and Craig won the first end and then went behind on
yes,
the
they
second.
did. So you heard Barry mention about the World Bowls ranking points, and very pertinent for Aiden Takarua. He's currently ranked 6th in the world, starting off the back of his national singles win a couple of years ago, which of course is another, or the main way New Zealand players have qualified for world ranking points prior to this event. So winning that a couple of years ago, quickly shot himself up to one of the top ranked players in New Zealand, then earning himself the right to play in various other invitational events around the world, obviously blackjack representative honours as well, and most recently the Hong Kong singles and the World Bowls Series finals, of which he was ranked 13th at the time. Got the silver medal in that event and now finds himself in 6th place. So he'll be adding a few more points to his world rankings tally after this weekend.
Yeah, he's become a very consistently successful player in the last couple of years on any stage, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I think the biggest key to Aiden's success is his head. He's very calm, very composed, doesn't get phased out by too much. So these conditions won't be bothering him at all. It's just what's in front of him, and he puts his puts his head down, plays the game, and just keeps a really cool, calm, level head. Equally, in contrast, we do quite well in the female rankings as well. We have Selena Goddard, who's a New Zealand squad member. Commonwealth Games medalist. She's currently second in the world rankings. She had a less than successful World Bowls finals a couple of weeks ago. I think was quarterfinals was she eliminated, if I remember correctly. But she does still sit second in the rankings. Great bowl there from Rebecca. Yeah, great bowl. Unavailable to play in this event. She's over in Aussie at the moment playing one of the many tournaments that Selena finds herself playing over in Aussie. But she has been competing in this event in the past, and no doubt we'll see her competing again here in the future now that we have those World Bowls ranking points.
She also supports the Women's Premier Open at the start of the season. She's a regular in that,
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, a frequenter of the greens of Auckland.
Yeah, yes, well, she grew up in Howick, of course. She was attended Howick College just up the road. Finds herself living up in the North Shore now when she's not in Australia playing bowls semi-professionally.
Gallivanting around the world, accumulating airpoints.
Yeah.
Well, there's an interesting look because Trish has got 2 bowls, nice line, nice weight. There are 2 that are way out on the wing. So what's that saying? Is it saying that maybe the breeze is dropping? It doesn't look as if it's overly aggressive in the trees at the back of shot. Or was it just a couple of misreads? Let's have a look. Aiden is... Well, he's going hard.
Yeah, going aggressive early. I don't mind that from Aiden. Very good bowl.
He's pretty good at that.
Yeah, and in light of Craig's first bowl being, a bit wide, it just adds a little bit of extra pressure onto this next shot from Craig.
Yep.
Yeah, the flag and the trees have definitely calmed down in the background for sure.
They have a bit.
Better line.
Yeah, it's not a bad bowl at all.
Really good track from Craig if it's got the legs.
It has.
Beautiful bowl. Top shot. I wonder if Aiden will go again.
Wouldn't put it past him.
No, I wouldn't. I guess the advantage Aiden has now is he can play that forehand side and he can work off Rebecca's bowl to come into the jack. And if he does happen to sit Craig's bowl over, then it's still a good result. Tell you what, if he starts turning now, he's not far away.
Got it clean, has he? No.
No, just a bit of a dirty result there on the way through. Most likely 2 down now. Craig very sensibly staying on the forehand. Just standing on the mat.
Yeah, I have to say, I've seen him play like this in conditions like this because I was on the receiving end of it. And he just locked in on where he had to be and put bowl after bowl after bowl in there. The breeze does not bother the guy.
No.
And you can do whatever you like. He doesn't care because he knows that he can put the bowl all over the jack. And in a situation like that, it's a great attitude to have. What have you got here, Aiden? A little slide?
Yeah, that's perfectly executed. He had that bowl to use. I
don't think
he's
shot.
Just wiggled through, though. Trish will pull the fingers out.
Yeah, if I come round and get to a pink, it's good.
If I interpreted that sign language correct, the bowl in the middle is holding the shot.
That's what I thought of it.
And she's asking Craig to turn over the bowl on the left-hand side to make it count, or ideally just slip past it to count himself.
You wouldn't want the old Bakelite curtain in front of that, though, for Aiden, would you?
No. He's certainly in the area, perhaps just a little... Oh, no, he wants to be heavy, of course. He wants to turn that bowl over. Yeah, perfect. Oh,
didn't happen.
Almost perfectly executed. So I think as these players cross over and Aiden plays his last bowl, we might look to get a score update from our other semi-final between Kay Bunn and Sean Harrison from Karapihi in Thames Valley, and Adam Hayward and Jesse McCaw, who also reside in Tyree in Thames Valley, not Tyree, Tyree? Yes.
Takarua.
Takarua, sorry, Takarua in Thames Valley. But also quite often frequent up here in Auckland and represent the Auckland Bowling Club as well, playing in their Auckland shirts today. So as Aiden plays his last bowl and crossover, we might see if we can get an update.
Doesn't seem to be particularly pleased with this one. Gone to the 2 metre, I suppose. So you got anything working over there?
Both teams having a bit of a conference here. The position definitely favours Trish and Craig at this point.
It does, because they got the shot, which always helps. They haven't got anything at all behind the jack. There's a score being adjusted over there. Something or rather to 7.
Oh, she's given that one a bit of grass.
Yep, I think that may not be involved in any part at this end.
I'll be very surprised if Rebecca doesn't play weight here. Aiden's got all the back positional bowls. Any jack movement to the left is definitely in Rebecca's favour.
Well, you look at Craig, he's got 4 in the line and Trish right beside one of them.
Banking on it to drop. Wow, that's an interesting result.
I think he's suggesting now that he may be 2 down, Aiden.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, well, I think they were 2 down anyway, weren't they? So it's just a different 2.
Trish thought it might have been 1.
I think we have 1.
Only 1.
But you're drawing to the hip now.
Wow.
And it was, I think we have 1, which coming from an experienced player normally means it's really close.
Well, either that or it's a very strategical call to say we've got 2, but we don't want them to know that.
I didn't realise they were so cunning down in the Taranaki.
Oh, you got to have a little bit of grit when you play in Taranaki, that's for sure.
Knowing what some of their rugby players were like, I'd imagine their bowlers aren't very different.
Well, a lot of them are retired rugby players, so that's where most of them get it from. It's not too bad from Trish, just going to pull up the foot.
Yeah,
and I think Rebecca's shot's pretty much the same, really. If she can work in off her own.
Yeah.
Kind of hidden hope, really.
Yeah, equally there's the opportunity to hit the wall and see what happens, of course, which I think might be the play.
Everything else is good.
The 2 seagull wings say bomb might be a good idea. Okay, this has got some mustard on, and
Big,
it's
oh,
bad. That's 3 down.
Definitely bad. No, they'll take the 2 out. All right, well, as the players measure, I believe we have Dennis ringside at the second semi-final to give us a little bit of an update on the score. So we'll throw down ringside now to Dennis.
2.
Only 2 is the
only,
call.
But lucky.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Yes, it is very, very tight in the other semi-final. 8 ends, 5-7. Of course, Kay and Sean started off a very, very good lead. They had a 4-shot lead, and that has been withered away by Adam and Jesse. Adam Hayward, of course. Doing a phenomenal job to make sure that they can get themselves back into this. They picked up four shots at one end and got themselves right back into this match. So both very close, very exciting semi-finals. And if this is the calibre of the semi-finals, can't wait for the final.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. And you can see the windsock over your shoulder still blowing strong. So the players are definitely contesting with these conditions here. Craig opening up starting the 10th end with a 3-shot lead.
Well, they scored on the last 4 ends, which at one stage they were almost looking at stopping the bleeding because they were 4 shots behind and down a couple. And since then, Craig has just drawn a bead on that jack, and he's all over it at the moment. He's really playing some good bowls. Doesn't matter what position in the order he's playing, he is playing some extremely good bowls.
Yeah, look at these 2 opening bowls from the gents.
Oh yeah, look at the state of that.
That's exceptional from Aiden Takarua.
But just the last couple of ends, Craig's 4 bowls have all been going exactly where he wants them, and he's got his weight under control now here too. He's not short by much, and he's not over by much.
No, this is a little bit searching.
Neighbourhood.
He's looking for this. He's not far away.
He is not far away.
Oh, that's unlucky.
That's awful for your lead, isn't it? Gee, wouldn't you like a box of those to take around with you? Just pop them out when you need a couple of good bowls. Oof.
Well, it kind of just narrows Aiden down to the fact he's just got to not be short here. Anything behind the jack is going to be a really good result. It's pretty hard to improve the count. It'll take an absolute screamer to just hold 2 after this bowl.
No, I don't know that that's what he's after.
No.
Something close to the ditch is
Definitely not.
to use, because again it's sitting on the tee, so if the end gets killed, the jack goes straight back where it's come from.
Yeah. Well, hot take here. If I was Trish, I would be hitting Craig's bowls pretty hard and fast.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very difficult to draw that shot.
If you get the split there, it's quite feasible that you run through the middle and take the jack for a wee walk as well.
Look, even if you got a dirty result off either of those 2 green bowls, you're going to change the head. So you need to kind of create an opportunity for yourself to score later.
And the mat's actually quite a long way up, so it's not as if they're going 2 metre to 2 metre here. It'll still be a very good bowl to get what she's after.
Good to see a couple of the hard-working Howick volunteers enjoying a beverage in the background there. Some of them were here as early as 6 o'clock this morning, preparing the greens and setting up the place for everybody to enjoy their bowls. So nice that they can clock out and enjoy the atmosphere. And yeah, we saw Trish play a little bit of weight, not quite what I was expecting, or not quite what I was suggesting either. Anyway, but
yeah.
It's one of those ones where if you're going to play that kind of in-between weight, you want to be on the green like Rebecca is now, so you've got something to play to.
Yeah, you can see why Craig's asking for that, because he knows that Aiden might eye it up if that cavern is still there for him to shuffle the jack into in 3 or 4 bowls' time. It doesn't look as if it's going to be.
It's one of those unique situations where, you know, Craig's now calling to put bowls into positions. You've still got to play the shot. So to get the jack to where Trish's bowl is a lottery. You're almost better off in this particular situation playing the shot, seeing where the head lies after it's moved, and then playing to it. Trying to cover, you know, 7 or 8 points on the green is very, very difficult.
Yeah, and if either party is looking to move the jack back, it's almost the bowl on the right-hand side of the centre line as we're looking at it as the one you want to hit, because the one on the left-hand side is likely to push the jack into Aiden's bowl, and who knows where it's going to finish up.
I wouldn't be surprised if Rebecca's third bowl is played on the other hand and just finishing to the left of Trish's bowl on screen as we see it.
Very good.
Cover all bases.
That pocket is still there, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's really good.
Yeah. Aiden's fairly happy for something to go into that little space. It's not going to happen. Oh, it may do. Yeah, here it comes. This thing's bending back sharply. Not quite there.
Having watched plenty of games at Howick, I can tell the wind's gotten stronger. You could see just ever so slightly that bowl was holding out against the wind. So what that tells me is that the the wind is blowing into the clubhouse and bouncing back off across the green. So you've kind of got to adjust your line accordingly, because they won't be taking as much green as you think. The wind's blowing across your face, but you don't always feel it bouncing back off the club rooms, and it can be very tricky to pick. So this is where I think the Aucklanders being...
This is not bad.
The Aucklanders being Trish and Aiden may have slight advantage over the likes of Craig and Rebecca, being from out of town, just being a little bit more familiar with the conditions at Howick.
And there you go, Aiden is not interested in maximising what he's got on the head. He appreciates that it's too difficult, but what he wants is that bowl a good 2 metres
She
back.
might accidentally play their shot for them here.
What he was looking for was a bowl to be 1.5 metres past that, and on the left-hand side as we look at it.
Oh, I think her weight was all right, actually. It was just a little bit of green would have been a really good position.
Yeah. And now with the game getting to the point where every delivery is really starting to matter, you can see why there's just a little bit more time for the players, because they've got a bit more thinking to do, and probably you want to talk to your partner a bit to make sure you're on the same page. Let's see what Craig's got to offer. His first 2 bowls could hardly be improved on, but he's going to try.
He's trying to play that perfect weight.
He's not far away, it depends. Does he get the kick? No. But he's now emptied that pocket out behind too.
Yeah. I think
the jack comes back now, and if it glances off Aiden's bowl, Trish and Craig could pick up 3 or 4 shots.
Yeah, Aiden needs a bowl right in the middle of those 3 there. The
Sure
2 blue and pinks and the greens. I mean, where Rebecca's foot is just to the left of that also isn't a bad option.
Yeah.
Because Craig can kind of play with any weight he likes now, and he's pretty well covered around the back of the head.
Yeah. That's certainly where he's looking.
It's all down to his speed now and how much it's going to finish.
Not quite perfect, but in the neighbourhood.
Wow, it's interesting that she's called the same speed. I would be a lot more aggressive at that. There's so many more options hitting that hard.
Well, if you get that one, the jack's that one being the one on the right of the centre line, the jack is almost certainly going to finish on the left, but Aiden's shot bowl may well disappear as well, so it doesn't matter if he kills it. Tell you what, it's got something going for it.
Yeah. And that's the problem with that 3/4 weight on this type of surface.
He was looking for half of Aiden's bowl, wasn't he?
You've really got to take 3 yards off that and let the bowl draw or go full speed.
This is almost a coward's bowl. You don't want to get too involved, I think. Let's see what he's got.
I would think a good player like Aiden will be trying to draw to the ditch, or
it's the last bowl of the end.
Yeah,
so.
he'll have some kind of practice shot in his sleeve. A lot of the really good players will often use a nothing bowl to practice a position, or might try to drive a wing bowl just for a bit of fun type of thing.
Yeah, and he put it where he wanted his last one to go. So.
Yeah.
Well, that stops the bleeding. That's the first end that Rebecca and Aiden have won in the last 5. And, while I'm doing the scoring, Dennis Katsanos has somebody else to have a chat to.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Yes, I have the patron of Bowls Auckland, a life member of Bowls Auckland, but I like to call him Mr. Bowls, Kevin Hickland. Now, Kevin and I've known you for a long time, Kevin, and whenever I needed someone, particularly in my days of radio, to do some bowls or some bowls updates, you were the go-to man, and I believe it's still the way that it is. Kevin, look, the changing face of bowls is where I'd like to start with you. There's so many young faces. I was talking about this with Dean Bartlett a little bit earlier. Really, the landscape has changed quite dramatically over the years.
Yeah, it certainly has. And now we're seeing the younger players really coming to the fore, not just here in this tournament, but right around the country and internationally. Aiden Takarua just out here playing now, the 24-year-old, of course, won the New Zealand singles 2 years ago, and just got pipped in the World Singles, in the World Series singles, got beaten by one of the best players in the world, Gary Kelly, out of the Irishman, who plays out of the Barilla Club in Australia. And then we've got the likes of Selena Goddard, who is ranked number 2 in the world, Caitlin Inch, Taylor Bruce, Finbar McGuigan. We've more than likely got of our let's say our New Zealand squad, we've more than likely got about 6 players now in our New Zealand squad who are all under 30, and they're highly ranked internationally.
Yeah, Kevin, obviously, Howick Bowls, I believe it's Starweed. I might have got that wrong, but hopefully I've done my research properly. The type of surface and the type of tournament that you've seen over the last 3 days, what are you seeing? Are there any particular trends that we should be looking for in both the 2 semi-finals and the final to come?
Well, they're definitely playing on a first-class green. Paul Hickey, the greenkeeper here at Howick, been a greenkeeper for many, many, many years, always produces top-rating greens. And the good thing about these greens here, there's 3 greens here, and they're all of the same equal quality.
Wow!
And if you look at the camera, looks at the ends of the greens, you'll see there's a cover of grass right down to the ditch board, which makes them, of course, really high quality. Challenging here, of course, because you get the wind off the sea, which has always been a thing in Howick. But Starweed with a touch of Kochler in them, which is would be some of the best greens around. And there's no excuses, even though we've got windy conditions this afternoon. The greens are going to give you every opportunity to really produce top level play.
And Kevin, obviously the World Bowl Series, Auckland's inaugural tournament. How big a deal is this for bowls and putting Auckland on the map, so to speak, on the global scale?
Oh, you got a big handout to Dean and END, the chair of Bowls Auckland, and the whole organisation to have initiated this to get a World Series event, because it carries world ranking points. He's in Barry Lester here playing from Australia, Dale Rayner from Wellington, Jamie Hill. A number of the really, really top players have come to it, and it can only but grow from here. If you consider, we're only a week away from the National Championships in Christchurch, and we've got 114 something the entries were here.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm picking next year that depending on where the Nationals have been held, which start on the 3rd of January, I'm picking you'd be up around the 130, 140 mark here, which makes it a really good tournament. And the good thing is now, which Auckland provides, is if we have adverse weather like we had yesterday, we've got covered greens, we've got the artificial surfaces. Howick behind us here, they're building a brand new covered green. We've got 4 other covered greens now in Auckland. So if you do get adverse weather, things are able to move around. So it means, for media coverage, TV, and that's what that you can finish on time. You don't have to, like the old day. That was a calamity. Just
a little bit of interesting noise from the bar there. A few broken glasses on green, so I'll allow it.
But the good thing now is that with these surfaces and having the backup of the indoor, it's great from a coverage point of view. And this is what attracting world bowls as well, because they know that they can run a tournament. It can be broadcast. It can be put through the world bowls, their TV platform or their screening platform. And that it's going to start on time and finish on time despite whatever the weather is.
Kevin, because you know your bowls, can I get a winner, a pick from you, because you know your stuff?
Well, it's interesting, the other semi-final, there's 2 teams, combinations there, one from Takarua and another one from Karapehi, and I suppose you could say they may be dark horses. Also, we saw earlier on today, we saw the surprise of Barry Lester of Australia with Ashley Jeffcoat, another New Zealand player. Get defeated by Craig Faria and Trish Croot. I would still favour the Aiden Takarua combination and Rebecca Jelfs, the she's under 26 player out of the Belfast Club in Christchurch. So, very, very good combination. Aiden's on top of his game. He'll win to Nationals in a week's time. He'll go close again, and he won the national singles 2 years ago, and I think he'll go close again. He's in great form.
Thank you very much, Kevin. I'll let you get back to your seat.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Kevin might have been a bit distracted there because the jack just moved back off Aiden's bowl, and while Aiden was looking pretty good, he's not looking so good now because he's 3 light, and it's getting to the point where he doesn't want to be 3 light. And, the end of the game is getting closer. But just before we go back to the bowls, I'll mention Kevin Hickland because he's a life member of Auckland Bowls, and he's given an awful lot to the game, but he's also given a huge amount to Auckland Rugby. He's a life member of the Marist Club, and he's involved in a whole lot of things there. So sport has been a huge part of his life, and he's a great contributor. And, both sports are lucky to have him.
Definitely. And I think he might have gone colourblind during that break, Paul, because he pushed up Rebecca's bowl and he's holding the shot.
You're quite right, yes. I did go colourblind. It's that red-green colourblind. So, apologies to everybody. I was getting all excited for absolutely no good reason.
Yeah.
I think it's a lack of coffee. Sort of thing happens when you're doing commentary. You just sort of put in a cell and you can't get to the coffee machine.
Well, the good news is you've got 3 ends left and you can dive for the coffee machine, so...
I'll be front of the queue. All right, I'll start concentrating again. Sorry, team.
The foot shuffle usually means Craig's playing a little bit of an overweighted shot, but I think someone's moving around in the background because he's taking a lot longer than normal. Definitely searching for the bowl.
Let me just.
He's given it a really good effort. Little slide, wiggle, wiggle.
Well, not quite.
Good second shot. You've got 3 second shots there that are all pretty solid. And a great bit of advertising for the Fox Network and the Simpsons, that's for sure. Certainly makes a better door than a window, does Aiden Takarua, but...
you hope his deodorant works, don't you?
Cameraman getting nice and intimate there. That's a slightly better angle. So both teams there having a little bit of a conference. As we're getting to a pretty crucial stage of the game now, with only a couple of ends to go, as I mentioned.
And what I'm not seeing is any Takarua Jelfs bowls behind the jack.
No. 2 of Trish's and 1 of Craig's down towards the back. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Trish playing a little bit more weight. Rebecca has the first bowl. And equally, I think we'll see that probably on the backhand side. So the right of screen as we see it now. Just trying to beat Craig's bowl there on jack level.
It's on the backhand.
And she's certainly got a little bit of weight on it.
And it's not going to make it.
No.
You've got a tornado.
She got a tornado. I like that call. She's accidentally drawn a second shot here. Oh, maybe.
It's very useful where it is, though, because now there's not that straight run backwards.
No, it's made a very good defensive bowl there.
Get both reds. Red on the jack's good.
Yeah.
You almost, if you're Trish, want to play that kind of yard overshot now.
The tricky one, you mean?
Yeah, no, the yard on's not too bad. It's 3 or 4 yards of weight that proves challenging. That's not the first time Trish has done that on a weighted shot.
You're kind of just... good luck. We're gonna
Oh, I love that.
Not too much bothers him.
Yeah. Just chuck it out there and see what happens.
Yeah. Tell you what, it's not awful.
I think she's just going
Just
to pull
gonna
up. Yeah.
Die in the home straight.
It's interesting because the bowls aren't running out with the breeze anymore. So I wonder if the wind direction's changed ever so slightly.
Well, they were never really running out on that side because early
Yeah,
doors,
of course, they're coming back across the wind. Yes, of course.
The first 3 or 4 were pulling up a couple of metres short.
No,
But
you are quite
there's
right.
not too much cabbage stirring in the garden.
I think we're going to see a bit more weight out of Trish by the sounds of things.
I think whatever you like from Craig is like good luck from Aiden.
I think that was a strategy like, so we'll see a bit more oomph behind this one.
Yep.
It's not full speed from Trish. She's got
Not
a little
bad
bit of
either.
swing to it.
Not bad either.
Well, she'll get rid of the red one. Sorry, the back red one.
Just the one.
So 9-8 to Faria and Croot. Oh, sorry, 9-10. What am I doing?
Well, you haven't had your coffee lately either.
No, I'll be diving to the fridge for my caffeine intake. I've got the Rockstar this morning, or this afternoon, sorry.
So
Free ad.
there you go. Well,
Sponsorship can be sent to my email, please.
both your commentators admit they're not on their game on the 11th end of this particular semi-final. It's a bit hard when you've got an audience of millions, isn't it? The pressure.
The pressure gets too much to you. And again, we see that kind of mid-length end that sort of has been the flavour of this game. A couple of long ends in there for good mix that have brought a little bit of diversity, but for the most part, the jack length's been pretty consistent in that mid-length. The mat's been up a couple of yards. And I think it's a key part of the respot rule that has changed the game. A lot of players opt to throw the jack just a little bit shorter than the 2 metre mark, which allows that variation when the head does get killed. There's nothing more heartbreaking than playing a perfectly executed drive shot only for the jack to go back exactly where it was and be in the exact same situation you were 30 seconds ago.
And your second shot has disappeared in the interim.
Exactly, yeah. So it's very much an interesting discussion among the traditionalists, this respot rule, but as I mentioned before, it's really changed the strategy of the game, and it makes every bowl so important.
Craig's sort of settled into that real nuisance, difficult to play against length, hasn't he? His last, I don't know, half dozen ends, been a whole lot like that, maybe a foot short or something like that, but pretty close to the centre line.
I would certainly go as far to say he's been more consistent than Aiden playing the lead bowls.
Yep.
Aiden's probably had one or two better bowls that have had him holding the shot, but Craig ultimately more consistent.
And with that, though, Aiden more dangerous at the back end.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, those conversion shots from Aiden have been very dangerous playing the last two.
This won't be far away.
Equally, I think Rebecca struggled a little bit coming this way early on in the game, but she's settled in and found it really nicely playing this way. Now, if she gets a clean run, she's got really good speed for the jack, but just going to get caught up on her teammate's bowl.
I think that leaf might have been a bit of an obstacle. Saw it hopping up the centre of the green.
Yeah. Different type of streaker in bowls, isn't it? Although not the first, no, wouldn't be the first time I've had someone run across the green in their undies.
No, I'd imagine not.
In fact, the last game I was commentating on Sky was when it happened, so...
Oh, there you go.
There's a fun fact for the viewers. Down in Alexandra in the Nationals.
Yeah, I seem to remember that was...
Yeah, it was probably 3 or 4 years ago now.
A talking point.
Yeah. I remember the club president at the time, he made a joke on 7 Sharp or some news channel around one of the old ladies having a stroke but wasn't quick enough to catch him.
The bowling community would appreciate the joke.
Yeah, a bit further. Beautiful line.
This is getting interesting because there's an awful lot of bowls short of the jack.
Yeah, and it's a wide open head too, so there's plenty of opportunity for a for a good bowl to come and really change the shape of this.
This may not be the worst. It's hooping in pretty hard, but boy, the pace has just fallen off it, hasn't it? Somebody let the tyres down out there.
And I think too, it's as much as we talk about commentator fatigue, I think player fatigue is becoming a real thing as well, because we're getting down to those crunchy ends in these conditions. It's mentally challenging.
And the wind just takes it out of you more than you think.
There we go.
Hard luck. We got one.
She's probably lucky that it didn't have the pace on it that she was looking for.
You got inside out here.
Yeah, righto. So Aiden decides it's time to change tack. There's just too much rubbish in the way.
It's a bit of another good luck call, I think, from Aiden.
Oh, there's starting to be a bit of detritus in the way, so...
Don't really want you to if you're not.
Okay. They're doing a good job of turning each other's bowls in at the moment.
Yeah.
We've got one. We just want to get to here.
That towel's getting a good workout back there from Craig. He's using it as a marker. It's been on his sand shoe. It's been on the green. There it goes again.
Yeah, I'm sure the tournament sponsors definitely appreciate the airtime.
Oh, yeah.
It's right here. There we go. It's over anyway.
Yeah, so...
Good ball, Trish.
It's a bit of a positional bowl there, I think, from Trish. I don't know if she was trying too hard to get in the head.
Well...
She's
I
probably
think,
got the 2 metre mark.
Trish and Craig will take one and run on this end, because then there'd be 2 up with 2 to play.
Yeah, well, I think that also perhaps might pay to why Trish has gone to the back, because, well, I was going to say Aiden might just drive the jack, but there's not really a clean drive on.
No, there's not, but the jack moving back 18 inches could, 1, hide the jack, and 2, put 3 points on the score.
Yeah, a little bit over
Too
speed.
much weight for that line, I think. But there's another one in that little catching cordon.
You know, it's interesting. There's a really interesting shot for Aiden on the forehand. If he can get underneath Trish's bowl, play his own up through the head. If he gets the split right, he's got an opportunity to sit Craig's shot bowl out. I mean, it's not a great shot, but there's opportunity there if he can get a good result with a little bit of weight. I still think the backhand option is better, trying to trail that jack back sort of a foot to 18 inches.
Yeah, what he wouldn't want to be is 1 down and turn it into 2 down. You get just a tad nervous on it on the 12th to 14.
Again, just a little bit heavy from the players.
Come to a good place, though.
Yeah, going to split those 2 pink bowls of Aiden's. Oh, actually, no, that's a really good bowl, because he's covered that line almost perfectly.
He's sitting right on the tee, I'd imagine. So he takes some of the options away, but the one that was talked about before, just moving the jack back 18 inches or so, remains. Don't know that it's going to come back for him.
No. So you start to enter chasing territory now, given that the scoreline is quite close. Craig and Trish holding 1 on the head, opportunity to draw a second, moves the score to potentially 12-9. 11-9 as it sits, 2 ends to play.
Yeah, Aiden and Rebecca haven't picked up a multiple since the 5th end.
No,
so
it really does. It doesn't have to be a multiple, but it does become a must-score situation.
It does if it's 12-9 after this end. You need at least a 2 in there somewhere. It's
a good line, all down to his speed here.
He might not be far away either. No, too deep.
Just a little too deep, I think. One
Just
indicated.
the one.
Yeah, so 11-9, 2 the difference, 2 to play. I still, though, do believe it very critical Rebecca, Jelfs and Aiden Takarua score this end.
Oh, you have to. You can't chase 4 to win the game.
No,
Not at this level.
Very, very hard.
I mean, there's been 2 threes in the whole game, and both of those have come from a displaced jack late in the head.
Yeah.
So.
You know, when the bowls have been close, the cull-up has been very high, but in the later stages, the heads have been a bit more dispersed. But in those sorts of opportunities, you're not really scoring numbers either, because both teams have had, just mixed sort of positional bowls that haven't really created anything.
Yeah, well, that there looks like it's the best part of a metre short, I suspect, and. Was it the breeze? Did it just not have the mustard on it? That breeze is kicked up again too. You can see it in the back. You can see the shadows from the teardrop flag flapping in the back of shot there. And you can see the flags down in the corners there starting to get busy again.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're not exactly measured because they're the width of a rink, but I would estimate that the blue lines are probably roughly about 2.5 metres apart. So you're sort
That's
of looking.
not a bad nut, is it?
No, that's a much better correction from Trish there. Yeah. Just hoping for the wind.
At this stage, all right, I'm going to put you on the hot seat here.
Right.
At this stage, 2 ends to play and a very close scoreline, who do you see as the most significant player in the game based on what you've been watching in the last hour?
I think what would happen, or in order for Aiden and Rebecca to turn around, there will be some big sort of drive shot from Aiden that creates a scoring opportunity. And I say that because it's very much his style to play those aggressive game change type of bowls. And I think what it's going to do is just add that little bit of confidence to Rebecca as well.
Yep.
Where they need to be careful, and I think Trish and Craig at the moment are kind of covering it just by accident, because the bowls are so scattered, it's actually quite difficult to create those positions.
Well, I see it slightly differently at the moment. I've been impressed with Craig's consistency in the last hour or so, and that one he put it in back. He split the 2 back bowls, so there's not the potential to build a big cluster back there. That offering of Aiden's is quite a way short, but if I had to put my money on one player of the 4 to be the most influential, I think the guy who's just delivered this bowl would be the one I'd be looking at, because he's just not making a whole lot of mistakes at the moment. As I say that, he leaves one halfway down the ring. But he has been making very few mistakes, and he's always putting bowls somewhere where they're useful. And the fact that his combination has won 5 of the last 7 ends says that they're, even if it's only 1 or 2, they're getting it done. And there's another one that the tyres got let down halfway down the green, so something's happened there.
Yeah, I think that's always been Craig's strong suit, is just like not always the best bowls, but consistent in his delivery.
Doesn't give you much, does he?
His range is very, very tight.
Yeah, but he gives you very little.
Yeah.
This is going to get under that one, is it?
Yeah,
Promote that
it's
one.
going to promote Trish's bowl. And that's where I think you start to see perhaps mentally the game slipping away from Aiden a little bit now.
Well, I suspect he's 3 down here, so...
Yeah, I have this strange suspicion he's going to drive this bowl.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you know, if he hits it, great, because this
Yeah.
is the shot that I've talked about, right? It's going to be the game change, the momentum swing. If he misses, it probably has a really negative effect.
And he's missed
Yeah,
everything.
well, he's missed everything.
Oh, no,
Well,
he's got two of them. Well, there you go. I'm going to shut up until his bowl finishes its flight path. Still the one down.
Yeah, and now he needs to step up and draw a really good shot.
Well, that was about as good a result as he could have hoped for, I think.
And Craig didn't look too happy with this one, but again, his bad bowl's going to come and draw the shot, so...
Oh, yeah, man, if I had one of those, I'd be grumpy too.
Yeah, well, see, now it's interesting, because Aiden might consider driving both of those and let Rebecca draw the shot.
Yeah.
You can get both if you want, but with this half a shot.
Yeah, he didn't think about it for very long, did he?
Yeah, he's just going to try and draw, I think, here. Interesting he's played that hand to try and draw the shot, but I tell you what, he's played it very well. That's an exceptional bowl.
Takarua, that's a great bowl there.
From driving to drawing, not quite a front toucher, but a very good result from the number 6 ranked player in the world.
Yeah, there's a reason he's good.
Yeah, no.
The fortitude to attempt the shot, I think, was the thing, because it would have been really easy to go hard at the 2 bowls that were the counters, and to step his pace down all that way and do everything and put it where he put it. Oh, good luck with that.
That's the type of moment that I think will define the result of this game. If they can convert this point,
Boy,
even if they only score 1 and they're chasing 2 in the final end, the momentum that shot gives them is huge.
Well, you'd almost accept 1 on the final end and then
Play
take
an
your
extra one.
chances in
Yeah,
the
of
extra
course.
end.
Yeah.
Especially if you just played a couple of really good shots to turn it all around. What's going to happen here? Not much. If you've just played a couple of really good shots to turn it all around, you'd be quite happy to go to a 15th end rather than try and force the pace on 14.
Yeah, and I mean, time's not really a factor either. We've been playing for just a little over 2 hours now, so the players still got 40 minutes up their sleeve.
Well, they haven't been mucking around. There haven't been long conferences or anything like
No,
that.
no, there's been a couple of little conferences, but nothing that needs minutes taken.
Oh, 30 seconds has been a bit of a chinwag. Okay, what do we got here?
Yeah, I'll have to, like, coming under that front tee.
Yeah, she's calling for that 50-50 shot again.
Yeah. And truth be told, with all the best feelings in the world, it's not one that she's really had under control today coming this way. She's tried it a few times and battled to get it right.
I mean, if I was to put my coaching hat on for a second, I think where Trish has kind of got it wrong is she stands on the inside of the mat. And in these conditions, I do wonder if you put your anchor foot to the other side. Do you see how she's on the right-hand side of the mat there? If she moved her foot to the other side of the mat and just played a bit straighter, more of a down and in type of look, she'd probably find she gets a better result because she's sort of throwing her bowl out to take bias rather than...
This is better.
Yeah, this is commentator's curse here if she gets this, isn't it?
But it might go really bad too. Get out of the way, Craig. Because if that jack had just been sput back a little bit, it could have finished up 3 down.
Yeah, well, good position now for Aiden.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying.
This is a ballsy shot. He's asking Rebecca to draw between Trish's 2 bowls, make contact on the jack and trail it for 3 or 4. She's not far
I'll tell
away.
you what, I'm going to give that up. That's a great mark, isn't it?
Well, she's drawn second shot. It didn't quite move the jack for 3 or 4, but we are all square as we start the last end.
Yeah, I was looking for that run through. I wasn't expecting it. Again, both of them came the same hand and played these immaculate draw shots.
Yeah, and there we go. It's that drive from Aiden.
Changed everything, didn't
allows Rebecca the confidence to play that shot.
And that was the one that set it up. But the second one going in there, as I say, I was looking at popping the jack back about 18 inches. I wasn't thinking of a dead draw. That was a beautiful shot.
Really pretty to watch. Slightly, well, it's not longer end. Aiden's brought the mat up. So the jack will be on the tee, if not just in front of it. Aiden's brought the mat up, another couple of mats up the green.
Yeah.
Which is quite a common tactic from him, especially in the last ends. What that does is allows him to be a little bit more confident in
Not
running
far
the
away,
jack
is
into the ditch. No, he's very close here.
Game on the line, it's not a bad start.
Yeah, that's a really good start.
Righto, now Craig's consistency, how good is it going to be?
He's certainly played some really good bowls going this way.
I suspect this may not be one of them.
No, this is not one of them. That's going to be up in the spectators area.
Yep, that beautiful even carpet of grass to the ditch. Just let it do its thing.
And this is that momentum swing we talked about, right? If Aiden can get this, even within a metre, it puts so much pressure on Faria to get something close. He's really close. He's going to pull up a little shy of the jack, but he's going to be in a really good spot. Maybe just outside a metre.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's that one there that's the interest, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is the bowl that counts at this stage.
He's not going to drive this, is he? I very briefly thought then for a second he might be lining up to try and hit that.
Depends what he gets. Does he get tackled? No, beats the tackle, but he beats the jack as well. Well, here was me giving him a rap for being so consistent for the last hour or so, and that's probably the roughest end he's had in the last 8 or 10.
Yeah. No, and it's not what you want to be putting down for the last end of a semi-final.
No.
Oh, look at our CEO. He's looking really comfortable right now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, and he dashed away from his interview with Dennis at the start to do CEO things. Well, there you have it,
and
people. It's a good job.
He's got E&D, our chairman, sitting next to him.
Oh, they're having a committee meeting down there,
Must be. It's nice to see the bosses working so hard.
Yeah. CEO and chairman of the board. Well, they'll tell you they've earned it.
Yeah, and Rebecca not really requiring too much here. The worst thing she could do is make a target, really. So by putting stuff behind the jack, covering all bases, she's executing really well. Just a little bit too quick.
Normally when people say the line's great, it means the weight is not.
She'll hang on to the back, though.
Yes, well, that's not the worst place to be. It's almost that's a pretty good second, actually. It's far enough away that there's very little danger of getting them both. Craig, those blue shirts are hard to see through, bud.
Oh, that's a great ball from Trish.
All right, so the lead has changed hands.
And that was the call, just try to convert it. So We've seen Rebecca play a few times down here with a couple of yards away. She's definitely got better speed than what she's done on previous efforts. It's going to turn.
Too late though.
Yeah, just a little too wide. I do like that speed though from Rebecca.
Oh, that one goes up on the bank. I know the game's for the players, but it does get a bit frustrating at times, doesn't it? Often there'll be marks on the green where you stand outside them, but when it gets really interesting and the pressure goes on, people tend to want to get a wee look rather than worrying about the wee marks.
And equally, all of these players are very experienced. They've all been on television plenty of times before.
Yeah, they're playing. There's a little bit to play for just at the minute. This is a very good.
She's very good bowl. Very good bowl.
That's a second shot.
Well, she's made a little bit of a target. Yeah, so a drive was the call there. And she's on the forehand, which is not the hand I would have played, but not the greatest shot there from Rebecca Jelfs.
That's a miss.
And it was her last bowl as well, so it puts the pressure on to Aiden Takarua. I mean, you've got the tee, but assuming both of those bowls go, which if you hit them, well, the shot bowl could lock in place. You just don't really know.
But Aiden's bowl, the one immediately behind the jack, could disappear as well.
Yes, definitely. It's a bit of a lottery result, really. In an ideal world, Aiden pips the jack clean on the forehand, jumps his own bowl and finds himself in the ditch, which sounds far-fetched, but trust me, it's well within the realm of possibility.
Then he goes and buys a lucky dip for the lotto whenever that goes round again.
Yes, well, our partner Taylor Bowles do have a raffle going on in there for a new set of bowls, so...
Oh, so he can chip the ones he's got.
He could get a slightly shinier set of pink bowls for next week's Nationals.
It's not quite in the way, is it?
Well, if anything, it probably frames it up.
Yeah, it does. So you're saying you think you'd be looking at a forehand?
Well, just based on the fact Rebecca played forehand, I'm assuming that, well, I don't know. I don't know whether Aiden called a forehand or whether Rebecca just prefers to drive on the forehand. But I guess the benefit of the forehand, no, Aiden's on the backhand. The benefit of the forehand shot is that if you do miss narrow, you can sit the bowls. Whereas if you're on the backhand, you're kind of looking more for the bowls than the jack. Oh no, he is on the forehand.
Ooh. All right, so Craig may have one bowl left, he may have two. He may have to go six yet, we don't. No, he can't go six, he's either got one or two.
Yeah, no, you won't, we won't have a tiebreaker.
No.
I guess if you're Craig, you just leave it right alone. They have back position, but it's hard to cover it.
Mm. You can't really find a third there anywhere that's not close to the other two because it's relatively tight.
Well, the worst result is to sit on Trish's bowl and frame it up for a two-bowl target, which he's dangerously close to doing. I'm sorry, but that's not a good bowl. Like, yes, you've drawn a perfect shot, but you've made a really big target for a player like Aiden.
Mm. Yeah, and if he gets that split, he probably gets all three of them, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's basically it. He either gets all three of them, or if he goes sailing past.
Craig's only saving grace is the fact he's got the last bowl of the game.
And that Aiden's got to do it.
Aiden's got to hit it, of course, yes. Wow, he's playing less weight.
Oh, dear.
He's not far away.
No, he is not.
He is not far away.
Oh dear, he gave it a ride.
He gave it a really good go. That's an interesting decision from Aiden Takarua, but unable to execute with his final bowl. And that will see Trish Croot of the Howick Bowling Club and Craig Faria of the West End Bowling Club from New Plymouth go through into the final of the first ever JBWere Auckland Open mixed pairs. 25 years this event has been running, but the first time ever with the World Bowled Series moniker. We will very shortly check out a couple of highlights and then cross down ringside to Dennis for some comments of the players.
This is the one that turned this match on its head, so to speak. She's already got one shot, and Trish Croot plonks the second one in there.
Yeah, there was a big bowl and a big moment.
It sure was. So,
bit of a summary from your notes there, Paul.
Yeah, well, it was an interesting game because it started off with Takarua and Jelfs getting away to a good lead, 7-3 after 5 ends. They picked up a 3 on the second when Aiden ran the jack into the ditch, a 2 on the third, so they're off to a good start. But after the fifth end, it turned around. There was a possibility they were going to go, they being Trish Croot and Craig Faria, were going to drop shots on the sixth. They recovered and picked up 1, scored on the next 3 ends, and so they'd taken a 10-7 lead, and they were trading punches the rest of the way home. Each side picked up 4 points on the last 5 ends, but the turning shot, really, there was on the 7th end when Aiden and Rebecca were holding 3, and then the head got disturbed and they went down 3, which was, you know, really significant, a 6-point turnaround in a game where the final margin was 3. But anyway, I'm sure Dennis is going to get some more reaction because he has Craig and Trish standing by, so we might as well get it from the horse's mouth. Away you go, Dennis.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Yes, I'm with Trish Croot and Craig Faria. Congratulations. You're looking at my mind. Did I get your surname wrong? Close?
Faria.
Faria. Okay, I will get it right for the final. So there we go. Congratulations. Look, what a morning for you guys. You knocked out two of the favourites in the competition. So, you know, to coin a phrase, a bit of giant killing. What's been your secret to success?
Just consider the head and take our time. Yeah.
What about yourself, Craig? What do you think's the key to success so far?
Well, the key to success is for us is to be close going into the last end, for me to throw my bowls away, let Trish draw the shot, and then wait and see if it can be recovered. And that's what seemed to have happened a couple of times. But yeah, we've tried to stick to trying to play the consistent side of the rink. Very difficult on the rink in the wind, but. Sometimes you've just got to suck it up. If it doesn't work for you, you just stick to what you're committing to, and you know, at the end of the day, you know, you might sneak over the line. I mean, it's a very, very close game. There's nothing in it, but we'll take it.
Now, I know nobody plays bowls for the money, but $10,000 worth of prize money up for grabs across the 4 flights. Must be quite nice to know you're in for in with the chance for, you know, a pretty good win. Some of it.
It's always good to get the money. Yes, looking forward to it.
And Trish, Barry Lester said to me that you were the key difference in the quarterfinal match against him. Fair to say, and I know you're probably one of these people who's quite modest and doesn't want to talk about themselves much, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they had it all over us for probably the first 6 or 7 ends, and then I eventually came on my game probably in the last maybe 4 or 5, found my line, found my speed, and once you get that, you know, you can give yourself a chance. Yeah.
And Craig, I guess you've played a quarterfinal 9 o'clock, game at 12. How do you reset for a 3 o'clock final? It's pretty hot out here. As you said, it's quite windy. I'm quite zapped, and I'm just talking on a microphone. I don't know how you guys are doing it out there with the level of concentration and the elevated pressure in competition.
Oh, you just keep the fluids up, you know. I'm a grazer, so I just keep nibbling away, and so I don't have to stop for a steak and chips or something. But yeah, no, you just keep the fuel in, keep hydrated, and you know, enjoy the game. That's the easiest way. Yeah.
Well, look, best of luck for the final. Congratulations on the semi-final victory, and you never know, we might be chatting again very, very shortly in a couple of hours' time.
Awesome, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, well done.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. Well, it's been an exciting semi-final here at Howick Bowling Club, and the other semi-final has also just been completed with Adam Haywood and Jesse McCaw defeating K-Barn and Sean Harrison 18-5. As we saw on the television ring, Trish Croot and Craig Faria winning their match 14-11. Certainly been an exciting semi-final. We do thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we will see you back at 3 o'clock from Howick Bowling Club for live coverage of the JBWere Auckland Open final.